Tubbing season has come to an end, and it was time to bring the Guppy Endlers into the house. I'm going to miss the pond. I mean, it's still going to be there. I'm not tearing the pond down. It's going to be outside, but I had to bring all the fish in. And I tell you, I'm enjoying having them in the house, but I am going to miss the pond. In East Tennessee, our weather has started to change to more of a fall. I can't talk apparently. More of a fall season. We may still have a warm snap here in the next few days or weeks. It's possible. It's probably going to happen. Honestly, it always does. By the time we start getting used to the cool weather, boom, it's hot again. Sinus issues, all of that. That has nothing to do with this. With the temperature dropping, I knew I was running out of time, that I needed to get the guppies in. The 10-gallon quarantine tank, which has been used as a grow-out tank recently, had to come down, and I set up the 75-gallon. It's still a work in progress. We're not quite where I want it to be just yet, but this is a temporary solution that's going to be here for a little while, maybe a month or so before my big plans start to take shape. But it's going to be here for a little while. I went ahead and set it up. I brought them in. I didn't want to risk it. And sure enough, a couple of days, it was like 2 or 3 days after I started bringing fish in, the pond dropped down to below 60 degrees. And with these fish, I don't want them to be out there below 60 degrees. I pulled out fry, like itty bitty little fry, for a few more days. I'm to the point I know there's still some in there, but I can't catch them with the bottle trap. I was actually netting fish at like 11 o'clock last night, but I've moved, I think, as much as I'm going to catch, and I wanted to share it with you. So this tank, this is my 25-gallon tank. It was my second tank in the hobby. My first tank being the 10-gallon, and then I got this 25-gallon. The 25 gallons are really tall tank, and so for people who, I got this tank before I started doing plants. Once you do plants, you start to realize the height can be a problem. It can work against you. And I had that issue for sure. I didn't need all the height. I needed something longer. So it was after this realization that I got the 75-gallon, which is a much longer tank and not as tall. So just kind of talking about the setup here, how it came to be and what I have. As you can see, there's kind of the 10-gallon background is on here right now, and that's just to kind of help with some of the shadow. I will put a background on this tank. I want to paint it one day. When I start painting the stand and the other tanks, I'll probably paint this after that. But for right now, this helps with the shadows. The fish aren't getting us scared when we walk by, and that's kind of its purpose. It doesn't look great. As you can see, it doesn't reach. That's the size of a 10-gallon behind a 25-gallon tank. Doesn't really work, but it doesn't really look great, but it works for now. The gravel, I actually did not have any other gravel, which the gravel that I've got in the 75, I feel like might be too big. But the gravel my wife picked up at Walmart, I said, check out the gravel that they have there. I just need a 25-pound bag. If it looks good, get it, if it's not too expensive. And so it was like 18 bucks. And honestly, I kind of dig it. I like it. I think it looks good. It is a smaller gravel, which, like I said, I wanted. And I may buy some more to kind of cap the 75. I feel like the 75 may have some nutrients leaching into the water. And that might not be the case. The more I look into it, I don't know that. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. I like this gravel. It looks good. I'll probably buy more of it because I like using gravel. As far as the plants go, I moved the Java fern that was in the 10-gallon into this 25, kind of help instant cycle. Also, I'm using the Aquarium Co-op small sponge filter, and I wasn't sure if I needed to replace that with my medium because I've got an extra medium in the 75-gallon tank, and I thought maybe I'll pull that over and use that. But in the rush to get the guppies inside and wanting to make sure I had filtration and some air going on in this tank because of the sheer amount of fish going into it, I just went ahead and set up the small, and honestly it seems to be doing all the work that I need. And really, if two mediums will do a 75, Surely a small will do a 25. It's been doing a good job. I've been watching the parameters ever since I set it up. They've been good, no issues. Other plants in here, you can see I also have some Java moss in the tank. That was given to me from a friend at our local club. He asked if I wanted some moss, and I was like, yeah, I'll take some moss. So I have some in here now, and the fry love it. I find fry, there's actually a little guy right here, right now. They love it, and you know, I hope it just continues to grow and I can use it, mainly for the fry. I like it for the fry. There's also some Anacharis, which I recently found out is not how you say it. It's Anacris, which is going to be hard for me to get used to saying, but I'm pretty sure that's correct based off everybody in the chat telling me it was correct. But you see there's some planted and there's some floating. This all came out of the pond. I wasn't sure if it would survive wintering in the ponds, but I wanted to bring some in because I really love this plant. I hear it's good for oxygenating the water. It's in. I've since found out that it will most likely be fine out in the pond, so I am leaving some of it out there just to kind of test it and see. I did find some red cherry shrimp as I was cleaning out the pond and taking out some of these plants and fish. So I was excited to see that they're still there. I hear they will overwinter in the pond. I'm going to leave them out there, let them do their thing. I also found a lot of planaria in the pond. The pond has a planaria infestation. I don't know that I like that. I know that I both hear that planaria is bad for red cherry shrimp, and I've heard that planaria won't hurt anything. Surely the cold weather will kill it all off. I hope. Over here in this pot, you see this potted plant. This is the Amazon sword that I brought out of the 75 and put in the pond. I was told that this plant probably would overwinter in my pond as long as my pond didn't freeze. I don't know whether or not my pond will freeze this year, so I brought it out. I brought it in. It's actually not looking all that great. It needs some cleanup. I'm gonna have to cut some leaves off. I should have already done that. I just haven't had time. But this pot does have not substrate. It's got soil in it, and then it's capped with some gravel that was in the pond. There was a lot of hair algae on all the plants that I brought out, and these Guppy Endlers have really picked it clean. They have been removing algae like crazy. They're always on it. It's great. There's a few other stem plants in here that were out in the pond I wanted to bring in and keep going. So I'm hoping they do well here in this 25 gallon. You see this root system here, that's a pothos that I pulled out of the 75 gallon and have put in the 25. Been a little concerned with whether or not I'd have an ammonia spike or something like that. I wanted to make sure that didn't happen. So the pothos is helping with that for sure. When I put in the gravel, I had a lot of and I rinsed this gravel a lot. I rinsed it till it was just clear water, but I still got a lot of bubbles at the top, and I was afraid that was ammonia, but every time I've tested, it's been okay, and it doesn't stink like it would be ammonia, but the pothos went in just in case. Let's talk about the fish in here. First of all, you can see all the cories swimming around. I moved my cory, they're not fry anymore, they are fish. I moved my small cories into this tank. Now I did count them, and there were 28 green cories. The day after I moved them from the 10 to the 25, I lost one. I was really disappointed to go all this time and not lose any and then suddenly lose one. But I mean, I guess that's just the risk of moving fish. I don't see any reason why it should have died, but it did. Something happened. They do seem to really enjoy the 25 gallon, the additional space. They spend most of their time up here, which is odd. The only time I really see them stay on the bottom is when I'm feeding. They go to the bottom to eat, but otherwise they just kind of cruise up here most of the time, all day long. It's fun to watch them. You're watching them right now, I'm sure. You're probably going to watch them the rest of the video that I have them on the screen, but yeah, they're doing all right. Oh, I didn't mention the 50 watt heater. I put a 50 watt heater in there because I'm trying to keep it, in the mid 70s. The Guppy Endlers, I wasn't sure about when I first put them in this tank, but they did color up after a little while. I'll be honest, I don't know that I want to keep an Endler tank. I may remove the Endlers and see if I can find them another home. I'm really digging the Guppies though, and I think I want to do some more Guppies. I actually may add some Guppies to this tank, but I think I want to remove the Endlers first. At the same time, I may keep the Endlers, which is why I'm planning on doing a 3-tier aquarium rack, because I'd like to do a few different things. And the Endlers seem to be fun. I just don't want the hybridization, which I already have. They're already hybridized. I can't really fix that. I probably ought to just start off with new Guppies. We'll see what happens with that. But the Guppies are doing great. Or Guppy Endlers. There's a ton of fry. There's so much fry in here. And actually one of the females dropped fry this weekend after I put them in the tank. So, you know, hey, I'm gonna have tons of Guppy Endlers apparently. So again, this tank, it's temporary. It's not gonna be here for the long haul. I do plan on replacing it with 3 20-gallon longs. That's the plan. Plans to get there. I'm excited about doing that. I'm excited about what I can do with those 3 tanks, both with aquascaping them and also with what I can put in them. I want to remove some stuff from the 75 and build, like I want to put green cories in the 75 and I want to pull some of the other cories out. And I don't necessarily want to get rid of them. So maybe they go into these tanks. Maybe the stir-by stir-bay, maybe they go into one of the tanks, and it's a warmer tank. I think that's a warmer fish. Stir-bay is a warmer fish. So the stir-bay go into a warmer tank with some species that will enjoy that. Maybe some Guppies, maybe some Endlers. I think the Endlers are more like somewhere around mid 70s than the 80s. Guppies too. So I don't know. I'll look into it. But yeah, there's a lot of options there. This is set up for now. I'm going to enjoy it for now. I got a few more things that I'm going to do to it. Like I said, I want to do something, maybe buy a background and put on it. And that's just the cling background. But really enjoying watching these fish, watching them, just watching them eat, watching them swim around. There's so many fish in here. It's really entertaining to watch them. The female Guppies are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I'm sure some of them are hybrids. They're probably all hybrids. I really don't know how to check that. I have started researching Endlers so that I can kind of figure out what type of Endler I have. It's probably a hybrid Endler as well as hybridized with Guppies, but there's definitely a few types of Endlers in here, more than just one. But yeah, they're going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time. Really enjoying having the tank in the house. It was a little bit crazy because after having COVID, I didn't have a lot of time to pull them into the house. What was cool was with the bottle trap, I actually pulled in the majority of the fish with just 2 bottles. I caught I caught all of the large Guppy Endlers, and it only took me a few extra days to catch all the fry, or the majority of the fry. I think I have most of the fry. With the bottle trap. So I have that video. I'll make sure I include it at the end of this video so that you can check that out. If you've never used a bottle trap, you can watch that and learn a little bit about it. It's phenomenal. I'm looking forward to doing some more videos with these Guppy Endlers and with the green cories. Some of the green cories will be going to the 75 next month in October, and then I plan on taking the remainder of them to our local club swap. And that's the first week second week. That's the second week in October, October the 8th, the second Saturday in October. That's what I mean to say. So anyway, I'm going to take them there. They'll probably go into the auction. We're going to do a silent auction to support the club, and I'm going to put them in there. What's really cool is people have been asking me about them, people at the club, and it's really fun to have people walk up and ask about a fish that you've been raising. So I'm looking forward to being able to share them with my club and also to enjoy them in the 75, to add them with the other greens. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you'd like to see more content from Scruffy City Aquatics, you could subscribe, and then of course that bell will notify you when we go live on our live streams on Tuesday nights. And then also with videos when videos come out. But yeah, do all the YouTube stuff. Comment below. I'm sure some of you know your Endlers and your Guppies and can tell me a little bit more about what I have here. Like I said, these were given to me when I built the pond, and they were given to me specifically for the pond. So they went in the pond, we've enjoyed them while they've been in there, and now they're in the house for the winter. So, tell me, what do you think you see? Do I have some pure Endlers, or are they all hybridized? Comment below. And next week's live stream will be Tanner and I talking about why the 75-gallon will not grow stem plants. I think I've started to figure out the problems there, but we're going to take a look at it and talk it out. Should be a good time. I hope you'll join us. If you're in the East Tennessee area, like I said, that second week in October, on Saturday, October 8th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., we're having our we're having the swap for the East Tennessee Aquatic Association. You should come check it out. We've got 17, 18 tables already booked. I believe there'll be more before it's all said and done. And last time we had almost 100 people come through. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. It's going to be a fun time. Come say hi. Let me know that you watch me on YouTube, and I look forward to meeting you. That all being said, enjoy your tanks and stay scruffy. Tubbing season's coming to an end, and it was time to bring the Guppy Endlers in. That rhymes. I don't want it to rhyme.